Hi everyone, this is Science Sarah with Wonder Why Science. And you are?
Francis.
Francis will be helping us today. So, our science today is about storms. And especially we're thinking about waves today because when there's a big storm out on the sea or out on a big lake, you'll always notice that the water is really wavy, right?
Yeah.
Really wavy.
It makes waves.
Mm-hmm. And does anyone know what causes waves?
Maybe the wind,
Ooh.
or a really strong wind. Like out here, I can see the trees moving with hard, blowy wind.
Mm-hmm.
What if we're water?
If you are ever out on that big water during a storm and there's a lot of wind, it is true that big winds blow off the surface of the water and cause a wave to move through the water. And it's actually not pushing all the water, it's sending energy from the wind into the water, and then the waves of energy move through the water out into different directions. So today we're going to make something that we can observe and experiment with. Some people just call it a wave in a bottle. And to do this, you need some kind of bottle that has a very secure top, a top that can screw on tightly. And I would even recommend getting some duct tape or something really tight because you don't want it to get opened up and spill everywhere. We don't have the tape with us right now, but that is a good thing to have. Also, you need some water.
Food colorings
Mm-hmm.
to make your story.
At least one color.
Colors.
Mm-hmm. And some oil. And a funnel to prevent a giant mess. If you don't have a funnel that works in your bottle, you can use the tin foil folded kind of about this size to make your own funnel. And I'll be showing how to do that. So if you don't have an actual funnel, we can make one. And did I forget anything?
Yes.
What did I forget?
What I'm going to use and what you're going to use.
Oh, well, I just saw here we got some beads
I'm using this one.
because I think it's fun when you make a wave in a bottle to have something that floats on top of the water that could be like a boat for my imagination. So if you want to add something that could float in your wave, go ahead and do that. Maybe something that's plastic or wood could work, but there's lots of other things. You could experiment with what you want to put in. Okay, you hear
For
my...
my dark, I'm just thinking if maybe if I did green and blue, it would just make a little dark color for the water to be like it's real ocean water.
And I was thinking I'm just going to do plain blue. You can choose any color that you have. It doesn't make a difference for the science that's happening. So you can choose the color that you want to use. You can pause the video now and make sure you have all of these materials: water, oil, food coloring, a bottle with a screw top, and a funnel or tin foil. And then let's move on with how to do our work. So I like what we have here because I have a little bit of a bigger bottle. I actually had this in my recycling, but we can just reuse it for this experiment. And then we found, what is this coming from?
My school testing
But what is
and a
it?
birthday. It's supposed to be bubbles. No,
Yeah, a bubble bottle.
then I just put it out.
Especially if your family might not want you to use a lot of oil because it is
Messy.
it's messy. It's also expensive. Sometimes some kinds of oils are expensive. You can always use a smaller bottle. So that's why we found this one. So first, you start with the water. So here, why don't you use the funnel for yours? And I'll show everyone how to make a funnel out of the tin foil. You start a little twist around your finger so that it can go inside the skinny top. You want to make, it's a little tricky. I guess wrap it around your finger one time is good, like that. Then you can stick it in, and you have a funnel. So as long as it's a tunnel down into there, a tunnel inside a funnel. That will help you not spill it everywhere, okay? So why don't you get your funnel ready? We're going to fill the bottle about halfway with water. This is the fun part, right? It gets, there you go. So fill it halfway. Oops, I'm spilling a little bit. It's not a perfect funnel, right? I have to pour a little slower. Did it get halfway? Can you tell me when to stop?
Sure.
Because I'm looking at the top.
No.
Good? A little more?
Yeah.
Okay. Half. That looks like half for me.
Really good.
Could you help? Sounds like baby Finn is making a lot of noise. Could you take the loud pot away from him? He picked the noisiest toy over there.
And I like music, but...
Okay. And I'm going to choose the blue and take the funnel out for this part. And this is another thing that's just really fun to observe, I think, when you add drops of food coloring to water. I think it's so beautiful to watch it disperse or spread out. It's a little hard to see with all the ridges on this bottle, but I think it's very beautiful and interesting. Thank you for helping with that. Let's get your water in.
Now I need blue.
Tell me when to stop when it's halfway.
That's good.
Okay, I can't really
You
see.
have bubbles on the top.
Yeah,
Probably
since there was
'cause it's a little
soap, we
soap.
didn't rinse it out. All right, so you get to decide how much food coloring. Except not, you don't
at the
need.
same time. Thing?
You want to do green and blue at the same time. So don't do a lot. Do like 2 drops, 3 drops. It's very, and then stop because it's very, very strong. You wanted to make it really dark, so I think you did a lot of drops. I'm thinking I'd like mine to be a little bit lighter, so I'm just going to do 1 drop at a time. Oh, I really like the way you put the cover on before you shook it. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe during a storm it would get really churned up, all that seaweed, and turn really dark. I think... Let's see, do I want it any darker? I don't think so.
That is
Nope.
weird. It looks like Coke.
I'm going to keep mine. So I only did 3 drops in mine, and you can see how dark that is. And
No, it looks like Coke.
let's look at yours, Francis. You did about maybe 6 or 8 drops, I think. Always put the covers back on the food coloring, otherwise it can get everywhere.
Hey, look! I didn't even see my bead.
Well, you got a lot of soap, but next we're going to add the oil. And the thing that's really cool about oil and water is they don't like to mix together. Water likes to stick to water, and that keeps them separated. And also, oil has less stuff in it than water does. Like, it's called being less dense. And when something is less dense, it will float on top of water if it's less dense than water. So I'm going to pour it slowly in. You should notice the oil sitting right on top. It floats on top. We're adding oil just so that we can actually see the
It
wave.
looks sort of like this is like blue paper on the outside.
Mm-hmm. We're really adding oil so that we can see the water acting like a wave. And in the bottle, you don't really need oil to make a wave, right? But it helps for us to see the wave when it's next to the oil. Don't take the funnel up. I don't want it to overflow. Oops, I only dropped one drop. That's pretty good. So now we take our funnels out. Put the cover. Oh, I'm going to put my boat in here.
I already put mine in.
I think it's going to float.
I see my bead. It's so big.
It's on top of the oil, right? I want it to go on top of the water, but then we have to find something that floats under oil. And I don't think wood will be like that. So for now, I'm going to keep it without anything. Now,
That's really weird. I didn't even
if
see
you
that.
shake it, don't shake it, because if you do, it's going to mix the oil and water close together for a long time. It takes a long time for it to separate. You can do that later, but right now we're going to look at the waves. So you put it like this, and then you can start to move it back and forth and get to really see the blue water moving like a wave inside, from side to side as it pushes the oil away. Moves from one side to the other.
It's turning green.
Yeah, it looks like the yellow oil and the blue water, you can see kind of green in between them when they're so close together.
Mine's not making it.
No, I should have warned you. If you shake it, it will mix together for a
There's
while.
something really weird. I don't really wish I used this.
You can always, especially with the little bottle, you could ask your grown-up if you could start over.
This video.
Well, why don't you just start over what you're doing and choose a little bit differently.
I thought it would be more like.
Do you want to do one now again?
Yeah, I thought it would be more like that.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of this that we have here?
Like that.
And I really enjoy watching the waves move back and forth. I also enjoy watching the oil move on top of the water. There's like lots of little drops. There's a lot to observe happening in here.
Where do you think I should put this?
In the trash can. Yeah, don't pour oil into a sink. You could pour it into the trash can. Into a plastic bag. Make sure it's okay with your grown-up. Yeah. And then, if you really want to, if this is on really tight, you can shake it up more. Ooh, yellow and blue make a new color, right? I would only shake it a little bit, and then you can see lots of little droplets forming around the oil and the water. And you can watch it separating back again. Sometimes when I need to be really calm, I enjoy taking one of my bottles and I do shake, shake, shake. And then I just watch it. And I take some deep breaths. And I watch it separate back to blue and yellow.
I rinsed my bottle real quick, just in case it doesn't have bubbles.
So, Francis, we were practicing just shaking it just like this, like 2 times.
Ooh, that's cool.
And then you can watch it and take deep breaths.
It looks like seaweed.
Mm-hmm. And watch it separate again. The oil is less dense than the water, so it's going to go back on top of it. If you shake it really hard, then you have to wait a long time for it to separate again. So I like just doing it a little bit. All right. Since Francis has a small bottle, we can do one more try here. Oh, whoops. Ooh, you want to do something else? We could do something a little different. Can we put the food coloring on top of the oil? That's actually really a whole other fun thing to do. I really love watching oil and water.
This time
Okay.
maybe I'll do yellow.
No, don't do yellow because the oil is already yellow. So then you're just going to have all yellow, and it will be really hard to see the
What about
difference. Yeah, red should look different. So this is a little different. If you want to do food coloring on top, you're going to see a lot more different things happen. Let's check it out. I'll hold it up, okay? Yeah, let's just do 2 for now. Watch that. Did you see it drop down?
It's invisible.
It's
Floating.
It's sunk down past the oil, but it's floating on top of the water, right? It's in between. I think you can see it a little bit in there.
Should I miss?
Let's see what happens if you just do like back and forth a little bit. Not a big shake, just a little shake.
Looks like blood.
Yeah, you chose a red color for. There you go. So that's mixing it into the water.
Wow.
Ooh, and there's still a few little drops of food coloring in the oil, which look really cool. So that's another really fun way you can do it.
I don't really get
In fact, I'm thinking I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to add a drop of green. Just don't overdo it. There's no need to do more than 1 or 2 drops, even if you're tempted. I don't know if you can see. Oh, did I already miss it? They already sunk. They sunk so fast I didn't even notice. They're definitely not on top of the oil anymore. Okay. And then another thing you can do, like I said before, is figure out what will go in. If you want to find something that might float on top of the water, but not on top of the oil, I have something on top of the oil here. It just can be fun to watch it move
Now I
around.
put some blue.
Ah, your blue already sunk down to the water level. So this is really an endless. Oh, remember, don't shake it too much. Is it working?
Ooh, that's
It's separating again. Good.
pretty. Oil's weird.
Yeah. So this is something that you can observe. All kinds of science, right? Bless you. Wave science, color science, density, which things float on top of other things. And also, you can use it to relax
Whoa.
and watch it separate after you shake it. I hope you enjoy your wave in a bottle. Thanks for joining us.